Hello, you amazing people. You're listening to the Marketing and Coffee Podcast, the show that brings you the latest in marketing, especially in the UAE market, with your host, Lijo Etup.
Welcome to episode number 30. This is the first in the series where I will be taking a podcast by myself, and it is called the Espresso series. A lot of people ask me questions on what should I do in digital marketing, what are the latest trends, while I run my digital marketing agency called Prodigy Connect. So I thought, let me just put in place what are the things you should look forward to in 2021. Now, it will not cover everything. Digital marketing is a huge ocean. I'm just trying to make sense of it in terms of all the listeners I'll simplify it as much as possible. The biggest change that's going to happen is that the digital ready culture. Now, 2020 has been a horrible year for everybody. What it has done is that people are now ready for the next level digital growth. Organizations are under great pressure to digitize their services quickly at scale to meet rising consumer demands and create new revenue channels. The data divide will be big. To keep pace with the evolving customer expectations, organizations are looking for faster ways to unlock data and gain insights. 2021 will be the year that data separates organizations from their competitors and customers. The ability to unlock, analyze, and act on data will become foundational to growth. Conversation will be more important than transactions. One of the biggest changes that's happening in the ad space is where Facebook and Instagram have now started to cap 250 ads. So they are really running into a space problem where the inventory is a big issue. In the latest Forbes article, the number of ads served has increased dramatically, whereas the cost for the ads served has reduced. So the real estate for Facebook and Instagram ads is less. Amazon has seen an increase of ad revenue of over 24%. So that's a huge boost and the taking of share within the ad space. Affiliate marketing, platforms, cross-promotion is becoming bigger. Google verified listing for local SEO for local businesses like Plumber takes a huge role. Using advertising, video advertising, voice search, personalization and digital marketing is key in 2021. Machine learning is indispensable when it comes to personalized digital marketing. Thanks to incredible advancements in terms of machine learning capabilities and analytics, companies can offer unique digital experiences to specific customers with virtually nothing more than a flip of a switch. So instead of having a single experience for all your users, your site can be personalized to fit the needs of each and every one of them. And that will be a cornerstone, personalization, hyper-personalization for every customer going forward to differentiate yourself from the other. Social commerce. SEO will go social. So now SEO used to be a very Google kind of led of approach, but now search and optimization where the search tools within the social media apps of Facebook and Instagram are getting more robust. They are taking on Google and making sure that the search intent brings in a better results and moves away from just an hashtag-led strategy of finding the most appropriate content. So I will just try to very specific channels like Facebook, Instagram, and what it means in each of this world. Now, this year is going to be a crucial year, one of the first year when the world is going to move into cookieless marketing. The latest update in Google Analytics 4 brings in a lot of stuff. TikTok has grown huge in this 2020, especially short format content where it forced other brands like Instagram to bring in Reels. It forced YouTube to bring in YouTube Shorts. So short format content is going to go through the roof and TikTok is leading. So one of the first channels that I want to talk about is Instagram. Now there is overload of content. Every brand, every nook and corner just starts a page on Instagram. It's very difficult to get the organic reach that you want, the content that you want to put out there. Please follow the 3 seconds rule for anything that you put. Any consumer who wants to see and look at your content will not give you more than 3 seconds. And if you cannot convey your messaging in the 3 seconds, that consumer will pass that creative or for that matter, the video. The first 2 seconds to 3 seconds has to hook the consumer in to see the rest of the content. So make sure there is a thumb rule that you put that a content that I put out there should pass my 3-second rule. Hashtags are still important, but there's a lot of controversy over the hats are not relevant anymore in 2021. Rather, description is more important. Hashtag still is relevant to an extent. It increases the reach, but going forward to a later part of 2021, the description will become more and more important. Use of reels is expected to rise. It right now it's content that's been taken from TikTok and repurposed for reels, but over a period of time, considering that the active base, and I'm sure Instagram and Facebook will make that reels as a channel more robust. Carousel post continues to trend. IGTV will take center stage. Now, Instagram now allows users to start making from IGTV with the use of ads and is expected to grow further in 2021. What I will tell you is the top 5 or 6 things that you need to take away for Instagram for the year 2021 is focus on stories because that's where the engagement is. Post description has to be more thought through and not just the hashtags. Reels will play an active role if it's reels. It's not in there in this part of the world, but when it does come, it should form part of your strategy. It's a matter of time before they scale. IGTV, put long form content, short form content. Instagram SEO, as I spoke about earlier, has to be done. The 3-second rule. This summarizes what you should do for Instagram. Now, top trends in Facebook. Facebook Live has grown in 2021, especially during the early days of COVID-19. And the rise was approximately 26.9% year on Facebook Live. But the biggest change that I feel that's going to happen or is happening in this world of social media on Facebook. Now, suppose you have a page with 30,000 followers, 40,000 followers, or even 10,000 followers. All of them are not a single persona. There are multiple personas within that. People have stopped engaging on Facebook posts and feeds until unless emotionally connects. And especially for a brand, it's become even more and more difficult to create that connect. The consumers, if you go back to the early days why social media started, so social media made sure there was a digital format of the human need for social interactions. Man is a social, human beings are social animals. So what it did was it create a platform. Now what has over the period of years, people have started losing the feeling of communities. And that's why closed communities on Facebook is growing a lot. So the communities is going to be one key aspect. Another thing is the AR ecosystem. In fact, Facebook is maybe releasing an AR lens just like Snapchat has. And also the Spark AR Studio, where you would have used Instagram filters. Nearly 500,000 creators from as many as 190 countries have used this to create and publish over 1.2 million AR effects on Facebook and Instagram. In fact, the one we had created for Prodigy Connect for the IPL was a huge hit. So make sure that you make a relevant AR filter. It's now a basic expectations. As I said, private interest-driven communication is going to go up through the roof. AR will play a big role, live will play a role. Chatbots, now it's been in the pipeline for a long period of time. Where the merging of Messenger, Insta Direct, and WhatsApp. Now that's almost on the verge of being completed. So you will see the rise of chatbots as an industry because it was being held back by Facebook because of the fact that the messaging was all fragmented. Now Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp will have one common place. It's expected to go from 2.6 billion in 2019 to $9.4 billion in 2024. So it should form, if not an active part of the strategy, but it has to form a part of the strategy. Now another big trend that's coming up is Facebook and Instagram shops, which is called social commerce. One of the biggest challenges that brands face is the user experience in social commerce. Any e-commerce brand should be present there. It's hygiene. As for the brand's mantra from the bull side, that's just parity. Will it create a differentiator? It will not create as a differentiator. Will consumers go ahead and shop in the Facebook commerce and Instagram commerce pages? It's to be seen. Consumers still like the larger screen, but yes, it's when consumers land on your page, it's a good value add for them to explore those products, see the different options. I'm sure Facebook and Instagram will keep learning from the user interactions and build a more user-friendly interface where they will challenge the people going onto the browsers and to browse and buy and rather stay within the Facebook and Instagram ecosystem to buy and sell. So social commerce on Facebook and Instagram is going to grow heavily. Now that brings me to the top trends that will happen in LinkedIn. Now, the basic premise on which I talk to everybody is people connect with people. Do not forget that. There are three viral actions on engagement as per LinkedIn. There's reacts, the way you react to that, any comment the comments that you do, and the shares that you do. So viral actions can be downstream or upstream. For example, resharing a post will create a downstream effect. That means connections of the users who reshared the post will also end up seeing it. Commenting on a post, on the other hand, will create an upstream effect. That means it will be boosted higher in the feeds of users who are connected to the author's post. In 2020, one of the biggest changes that LinkedIn made in its algorithm was the dwell time. LinkedIn felt that, okay, it's not only the three viral actions, the react, comment, shares, how much time did the person spend time on that post, the amount that dwelled on that post. So it made a huge difference in the organic reach for the consumers, for people who are posting on LinkedIn. So it's more important that you create engaging posts so that your dwell time increases. LinkedIn Live has found a limited release. It's still being tested by LinkedIn. LinkedIn events have been around since around October 2019, but then they have two revamps. First off, the new rollout was the create event option, which is now available in all company pages. According to them, the fusion of LinkedIn Live and LinkedIn events will lead to more virtual events. Business can host live events, eliminating the need for their audience to physically present. To demonstrate its power, company filmed a live fashion show, uploaded the clips to LinkedIn. It has been popular and is expected to grow in 2021. What I would tell you to take away is engage more with others so that you make sure you go upstream in the feed also. 12 makes a difference, so make sure you write posts or create content that makes people dwell on. Do videos is still early stages. The organic reach will get tougher on LinkedIn in 2021, so it's important that the kind of content that you makes people dwell more on your content to increase the. LinkedIn has moved on from a job seeking place to a kind of a place where a lot of personal branding is done. So make sure you have an outreach program that kind of reaches out to people individually. Make it personalized. LinkedIn do not sell, and that's if you end up selling on LinkedIn, as you would, nobody likes people selling on LinkedIn. One of the biggest changes that has happened on LinkedIn has been the stories. Not high usage of it. LinkedIn is pushing notifications, so I would encourage everybody to put LinkedIn stories out there. Now that also brings us to the new baby in town called TikTok. This I'll do before I go on to Google as a category, which Google is a world it's on its own. It's Google, it's got Google Analytics, it's got Google Search. So coming back to TikTok has been verified user $1.2 billion. One of the biggest key points that I like about TikTok is that their ad strategy is completely different. They want the ads to merge into the feed where the consumer does not feel that it's an ad by itself. So your ad strategy that you do cannot be copy pasted, and I would recommend should not be copy pasted into this TikTok, where video will become a big trend. Short format video will become a big trend. Most celebrities are jumping onto the TikTok trends. Remixing is a new user generated content. A lot of people have this perception of TikTok being a platform for only fun and frolic. It's not. There are a lot of people. There are people teaching Microsoft Excel, finance tips, digital marketing tips. It is becoming short format educational platform also. So as a brand, you may feel that it's just fun and frolic, but it can be done serious stuff where education can be involved. So more video ads are going to come on TikTok. Brands can look at branded hashtag challenges. Social commerce, TikTok will piggyback just like Facebook and Instagram on the social commerce. Influencers play a big role in the TikTok community. So in a nutshell, be on TikTok does not matter. Do not perceive your brand as I don't want to be seen on TikTok because I'm a very serious brand. My brand ideology is serious. We have seen the brands like Sharjah Police getting on TikTok. It can be an information platform. So please do not negate TikTok as a brand because it's just fun and frolic. You have to be there. And if you have not started your channel there yet, you are really behind the curve. It's about time you are there. present as a brand. Now to the entire world of Google and Google search and Google Analytics. So Google Analytics, last month they released Google Analytics 4. Now, very early days, very exciting stuff. The new analytics will give you customer centric measurement instead of measurement fragment by device or platform. For example, if somebody is using a mobile and gets converts on the desktop, it will have data for that. So it's not fragmented, and Google's algorithm will pick up the user IDs and unique Google signals from users who opted into the ads personalization. So you have the complete 360 journey of the consumer. So it calculates the churn probability. So a consumer, after having seen the ad, what is the churn probability? So you can more efficiently invest in retaining the customers at a time when marketing budgets are so much under pressure. The one of the biggest challenges has been the retention and looking at lifetime value. The early iterations of Google Analytics really did not help us in understanding the lifetime value because the channels were fragmented. Now, hopefully with Google Analytics 4, you will have much more greater insights on what is the lifetime value and take action on that. And if the platform will help you reduce the churn on that. Google search, AI will play a big role. Now, always remember the EAT principle for Google search. I keep saying to every customer of mine, every client of mine, Google's job is not to make sure that your brand succeeds. That's not when the search intended. Google's job is to make sure it gives the most relevant, most useful content when somebody searches. So when you write content or when you do content, when you do websites, it's not about who you are as much as what the customer is looking for. So remember the EAT principle that Google looks at. It looks at your expertise, your authoritativeness, and your trustworthiness of that information. Semantic search is going to go through the roof. Semantic search could be like humans have started to now reduce. My kid does not retain as much in his brain as much he feels that, okay, there's an answer out there for Google, why should I retain? So with retention getting lower, semantic searches will go. So you may just remember some part of a song and you will just take that, say, okay, this part of a song, and it will give you the results. So semantic searches where Google understands where the context of the search will play a role. Intent-based searches, the better the Google understands your intent, the better results it can give. So instead, people typically search with 4 different core intents. Let me just put it. I want information about something. I'm looking for information. I'm making a purchase I want to buy something, or I want to shop and compare products, or I want to get to a certain website where I just put in the name directly. It's important that your strategy of search for your SEO, in Google, make sure that it creates this intent, and you make sure that you look after the EAT principle 2021. Writing content and reaching organically is becoming more and more difficult. It's becoming a much more longer haul. It's not easy, and especially the more competitive the industry is, more difficult it is for you to reach that number 1 to number 10 position on the first page. Make sure that you serve the consumer who wants information and make it simple for him to understand. And that's what we'll look at going forward. Other things on Google: reduce your load time, provide a safe browsing experience, skip the pop-ups. It really affects, if it's pop-ups that takes half the screen, it really affects the SEO ranking. Google does not want the consumers to go through that pain. And just remember, load time, 1 second delay in load time has been proven to cause a 7% loss in conversion and 11% fewer page views. So make sure that your page loads fast enough. Well, I've just covered the tip of the iceberg of digital marketing. There are a lot of other assets of digital marketing like influencer marketing. There is Pinterest. There's so much more. The whole process of me trying to start this was to give you a kickstart on thinking digital. Now, being digital is not a matter of choice. It's a must-have. So I hope I have kickstarted your journey towards being digital. Maybe it looks a little complex at this point of time, but it's a matter of choice. You have to start sailing into this ocean to be able to conquer it. I'm available on LinkedIn at any given point of time. You can follow me on my Instagram, where you can find a lot of tidbits. You can follow my agency page, which is Prodigy Connect, and my podcast page, which is Podcast with Lijo. I'm available anytime. Go subscribe to my podcast, and I hope I keep doing this espresso series to add value to your lives. Thank you.